Sometimes a life surprises
Voice of South Pacific Broadcast in Radio Tonga, Seattle. Ko e le te o e ni le o e Pacific Saute mo e le te o Tonga o atia he me Seattle wa Singatoni, Amerika. Ko e ahonga fulu no maasi o e wafe woa. Malo mo la malia ho e ki pe mo le le e tong kotoa. Tau tu uta mo i mai ke aho whakakoloa koini ko e aho tople lulu fokeni i Amerikani. Tau lau koloa, tau lau monu, he lau ke tau te whelongo aki e waha ope, i he ata, pe a moki mo tau kota pe o mo lava pe ki mo whanonga mai, me hawhi tu upe, tuli ke wha o e kolope. Ko e polokalamani ko atia pe me senta ko ia mana mo ui, e mau kamata ki pe a e ngai polokalama ko ia e Seattle Tongan Relief Committee, pe a o ku iai foki mo e polokalama ko ia ko ngai whakahino, mo ngai whanongonongo, o ko o mai hanga tonu ia pe a me he Seattle King County Public Health, e o atia e Sirikalepo, pe kai ke ngatai, pe a mo i kau ngā ue ko ia, ko he tawhaaki ko ia o e malui, mo i whakaihi ko ia ki he mo uilelei, ke tōni ia a e tonga kotoa, pe he foki ke kai ngā whanongo kotoa pe. Ka i he taimini, mau kau whata whakiheni, pe a mo e Toan Palestini, Filipe, fot ai katu i vai. Ke ne lava tuku atu ai ngahi whanongonongo mahu inga. Ko ianga ni ai loto fie tokoni ko ia ai komiti ko ia ko i tokoni ai Seattle Tongan Relief Committee. Pea ko iai te utuanga i whangamari ko ni kia Filipe fot ai ka tivai. Filipe ka taka mo o whakahau ko mai ko hae ngai tamua ngāwe. Pea mo e ngahi fotutu ko ni ai komiti ke whai ai hato koni ma ai ka inga i hotau community. Malo. Filipe?
Io ke whanongo pe Fatima, o lele atu e.
Iyo, o kuongo lele mai pe.
Ok, malo abito Fatima, tuk mai ki taimo no koni ke whahoka twai a ki whatongi atu heni ke whawonga e atu ai Seattle, ai Tongan Seattle Relief Committee koni atau tolu i Seattle. Pea goe, hangi kona goe, mea kona na glavi ki ai fieto koni ki he tonga pea moe whaingata ia ani nai hoko koe i he uke ai mau uke ne ua mea patamaki kona nai hoko whatu tamaki kona ki ki family palu e Sylvia e ai nai whai ai ki whututu u whakaukau ai ki komiti ai Palestini pea mo e tokoni pa pehe whoki ke toi ngai komiti ko ha ngai fonga ke lava ke mau fieto koni atu ai ki family koni ma tu ifo ko fatu tama koni ko fatu pake ko ke ilo ngai ta faaki po ha ai me afatamaki kon e hoko ka ko fakatoa o tau fieto koni pa ko ilo pau i ka te au pa pe fo ki tonga komiti ai fie maua pe ko osi u fie mau to koni a ki family koni pe ko foto pu palani ko me foto tu koni na fai ke lava mo fa ta ki to koni ko ai ko ki papa ki u pe ko pret mi akai pe ko ha pe me mau nyongo ko ki pret ta ha to la ta nima ka ko ha pe me mau ko to koni ko to ko ia ave whakatoa pe ia ke ki family koni ai o hoko kia whakamaki pe moe i honau loto whare. Ai e Sylvia ko aha tahaua ai ko tokonaki koni taimi pongpongi o was maure ba upreti koni taimi pongpongi tokonaki ai ko aha tahaua ai. Ka pau kuia ham ni hi mo fie ma o ha tokoni ba mo fie ma preti mo kamata mo kata ki pe o si le amai ki mana mo iseta e to whakaki ke te Fatima e to silam ngai taimi ko toko ia ka te mau teu ia ngai preti mea kai pe a tola tahani ma ke preti ka hange ko ke falama de nai tola tahani ma po ha pe mea ko ma o pe ko whakato ko pa anga te mau ma o i he papaki ko ni ai preti ko ni he tonaki ave katoa pe tokoni ko ia ko nga ko mau ofa po mo fie kaunga mamahi ko fie tokoni ki he whaingata ia ko ni oku si to tonu i he loto whare ko de family palu pa ko ko ia pe ia Fatima ai honda whakatoa ka ko whakakato pe ia ai whakiki ai fie tokoni ko ni Seattle Tongan Relief Committee ki he mea whakaiki koni ai ni hoko tonu i he noto whare koni e whaamiri palu. Pea koia, e toki whakamanato atu i pe e Fatima, ai taimi, pea mo e toa sila, ai ako mana mo ui pe, pea ko taimi o fulu pongi pongi i he tonaki koni a tahawa, e mau kato ate upereti koni, pa mo pau whakawhi atu pe tonga kotoa mo he oiki, mo mea mai o whataha mo upereti, mea kai, pea hange koe lauku. O si honga ia pito i he ofa mo tokoni pe ko mo alolahi atu i he fie tokoni pe mo pou mai ke tau umo mataha mo tau taha i no whenga i ke tau whakakato ai ki sila po ki seniti ofa koni i he family palu mahalo ko ia pe Fatima na whakakatoa ai tokoni atu ki he whakakiki ai barbecue plates koni i he tokonaki ka pau te ai pia whakaiki mahalo kotui mahalo te ke toki hange peo o tau remind atu ki he paenga pa he whoki kainga tonga koni si atoni kapaku ata he pongi tona ki pa ko alu be ko ni me hongo fulu o fai be ya ki o si kato preti ako faka ko favofu atu ma ko preti e fa ki valunga o ki ta ka ko ia mahalo ko hange ko lau ko tola rani ma pe ko ha pe me mau ko to ko la ya pito ya ki tau to ko ni ko ia be e Fatima malo
Malo apita Filipe ki mo ako ke fa osi te o to e kata ke pe mo tu mai ko hai me au ke pe he ma hu ingai ke tau fa ho ko ngau ko ni a ko nga ki he kai nga ne ngo pe ko ko tau kup fe kau aki ni ka ko hai me mo loto to ai ke mo fa ho ko ngau ko ni ma ai community malo.
ko ia malo Fatima ko tu malo ko me ala hi be foki ko Fatima ko ni foki na e faka o ku fa o no ilo kato ko ni amerikani pa pe foki ki he community siato ka ko to me apeta foki ko family pe ni me siato ta ko fie to ko ni be a community ko nga o ku ilo ko fatu pa ke foki ni family pe ko ka ki ta ilo to pu na os mateu teu fa pa nga ke ko pe ikai ka ko anga e tau ofa whaka community, ofa whakatonga, ko inga ke tau popo i mo teu i atu. Ai toko ni whakapaanga ki whamiri ni ko ilo pe, hangona koe lau, o ke hepe tau putu toko taha, whakatoa taha, ka koe mea whaka lirifo ni e tau sio, ku hoko e whotamaki ko ni, ki fwoi whamiri ko ni, i he taimi ta tau pe taha, ai ka fwoi toko whaa ko ni, i wo sia ta pe foki mo ni tange ko huspaniti una ke e mo nga pe foki ai dai pau he tai mini ka ko tu mahalo faka ke fa aho pe ka ko na faka to Fatima ko tau panongo be he ngahi fatu tamaki farili fu pe he ni mo fatu pake o ku han ko tong ko loto tonga ko to ka e tata te fito ki committee kon sia to Tongan Relief Committee e tau fia tokoni ko hinga pe ko family ulaki ko family ua ko tau community ko ni sia to ni pe o ku fa fia pito e tau fa fa tau mate teu ke tau tokoni fa ngata ia pe he e ko tono tau loto fare pa pe he fo ke community sia to
Iyo, malo opito Filipe mo ne opito hange ko fa matala me maho inga pe ko hapea me te tau lava ke tau fe vai aki fe to koni aki ma ko me maho inga pe ia lolotonga e tau fononga me tai mi ki taniti ko tau fononga pirikim fo geni ko tau fononga tu pe ku si to tau ata o hange ko samaritani pe au tau afe pe ke fai haki to koni o ko tau ilo pe ngai fu fai ngata ko ne foi to fa lute pe mo Naomi ko ongo tau te hina pe mo na ki whanau e toko ua. Pe o kuongo ki he kāinga tonga he ko ngā koe whitu whuenu nau iai. Pe whak mo e ofalahi atu ki si i toko ua koe ni ko siswha, whainga, tapa tau tai ai si tō tau e toko ua koe ni ko ne whoki o malolo ki api. O whaat ki wito ka wāki e tapa tau tai pe he ke whae ai pe kia anau whainga pe kia te isa, pe a mo o teko, ko e taha whakia o e kau me mipa komiti, a teko whainga tawalii, pe a ko tau ofa pe, ko e tau lotu pe ia, pe a mo e vahe aki. Ko e wha osi pe Filipe, whai mamau ki vahe ki he tau mua koe no amina ke mo whalau atu ai, ki Texas ko e hae polokalama mo whakahoko ai, ki miniti pe ua, malo.
e malo la pe Fatima ko ko te u follow up ni ki he kolo cowboy Texas ko e famanato na aho ai fa ni lua ko ni kalapa Texas pe ko ia na si fa haku mai pe fa kafe ta posi na e si mate te u pe ke fa ni lua ko ni kalapa ni lua sia to pe ko o si pa ore ma ke fai a teu pa mo teu follow up ki ai a pongpong ai e whahau kati e hui ke eni koni, pe a ko e whawau whapito e teu pe mo mo e whakawhena e whai mai me i Texas pa koia o kusi lava te e kalawhāne lua si ato pia mo e tokolahi apita ka me mi papa pia ke kai ngata be foki ai o ku te ai mo ka muy folau be me si ato me u kalapu ke koni si ato pia koia kona whakatoa mau whamalo ia pe i he tokoni pia mo e fotu ai tau tamai whahewani te si le rat ke ya Palestini pa pe ki ka to me mi pa ke fa ho ka tu mo formato ai fu ko ya fa ne lo Texas ko ya
Ka me mi pa i se toloni e kalapa o ni loa klavat ki ai. Kata.
ai ko be foi Palestini ko hefa ko hefa ai ko tau taina pe mo seuri ferem tu pou ka faun o mau si lava tu pe kai ngata pe fuki ai ka fuki mau kau muy folau me u kalapu ko e hanga ko pa kalapu fo anga ko kakal ko e foi one ka pe fuki ki he u kalapu no fatola he pe i sia toni o nau si lava nge ki he kalapu malau ka ku fa pito ma falata ai te folau ko ni ko inga e te fetau la que até o calap ko to mi o vai fonua ko ni siato i american
Malo o pito Filipe ma ongongo pe ko e hange ko ne ngai whamatala ko e follow foki ni ki Texas ai group fa one lua ko ia pe me siato ai ko kala fa one lua Palestine ni pe foki ai Filipe fot ai ka te vai pe na ka fata foki pe mo aho hefa ko taha ia ki na tona na ka mata i mai ko ia ai kalapu na follow tu ki Texas pa pe foki frem tupo ka faongo pe mo ki na tolo ko na muy follow atai hange ko mai tala ko apakasa fiaki pe foki ki tino rewa ke na ka fata no fai longa ai aho ko ni o kalapu fa oni lua i kolo ko ia o ka po i Texas tala mono at ka ki motol o fa ke mo ma o ha follow lele pe mo safe travel ki Texas malo o fa ka ki motol malo apito ma wongong
alo mi do fate ma o fatu ya mo to to
io con età e te fai vai fa one lua o te ki fai hiva kana fa ne lua ka i time da tau pe te famana to tai pe foki hanga me ko ne tuka te tokon Palestini ke club tokoni ko ia committee ko ia pe me Seattle Washington ayo i loa ko Seattle Tongan Relief Committee ko e club ko ni o ampanaki ke na fa hoko ai fa tau e plete me akai ki paanga pe tahanima ko me akai fa o faini ke o mo te ke toi kuki a tona ki ka ke me mai ko slahi au pito ai o fetu taki mai ke ta ofe na ngai pelete ke a tona ki fa hoko pe mana mo i center ki mo tol ko na mai ko fa ho mo ngai talamu mo ngai pin ko ia ke avi ko mo ngai family ki tonga ko senta ta tau pe ia te mau tuku atu ai i he aho tona ki i time hongo fulu pongpong fa fofua ki ai e maure vai e plete me akai ko e tua sila, taha wha noa ni maono i Halabalu, 8th Avenue South, i Pirian, Washington. Pea o ko mahalak mini te pe tolo me heni i he tua malai wakapuna i he vetafa aki pe ko i Des Moines Memorial Drive, ka pau tika ki ke hau ki heni. Te ukoreanga mo ke ensinia, ke ne tuko i atu. Mana mo i center, taha wha noa ni maono, 8th Avenue South. Taha wha Noah Nimauno, 14056 8th Avenue South, Pirian, Washington. Aia ahtona ki, mo kātaki, ko e umo mataha, mo e whetoko ni aki, whe vahe aki. Ma o hao plete me aka e ahtona ki, ko haa peho ki pangata nima, e lau ia koe koloa mo e tāpu aki. Ki toni i aki, ai si whamiri koe ni, ne ue sia lahi, i e māloloa e toko whaa, aia ko lute whekitoa, pe whaki kia Naomi Cook, pe kai ke ngata whaki ai, pe mo e ongo ki whanau, taha tolo e toko taha, pe he whaki aia ko James Cook ia, ia mo e ki tahine ko e tau hiva. Pea o kuongo ki ha loto ko toa pe. Ko e ofa ia, ofa whakakalaisia, ko e ofa ia o pere ngesi, ko e hape hao ki mea ofa ki ke fungani mai aki ki paanga tahani ma. Pea koe kai ki ngatai, o ploto nga lere pe mo e nau GoFundMe, e pes ko ia Voice of South Pacific, ko na utuku atuai. Au ke ai hao ofa pe ko i ha feitu, mo ka taki, ko klik ai. Ko i ki tola e taha, ko i fu mea lahi ia, ko i tānaki. Ko hange ko himi ko pe ka uke ha tulu tā, te tau whonua i pe tāputa. Mahu inga ho ofa. Ka i he taimi te tau, o mau whewha maloto ki motol ko tape tau kau whatahi lotoni. Mafi hani pare, Mahina Makasini, Linlu Litel, Maria Angorea, Tuitui Puloka, Hefa, Colin Pare, Mere Piutau, Diana Folau, Hillcrest Mausia, all the way to Vancouver, Washington, Atu Horan. Thank you, Atu. We have a GoFundMe ki he si komito koni koine ai family koine e wesia 4 of them were killed on a car crash in California. And right now, the family are waiting to, to gather all what they can afford, and that's why they're asking any little token will help. Koe ngā koe whi mao ke ship mai 4 bodies from Sacramento, California, ki heni ki he whale mate ko ia Bonnie Watson. Koe hape hau ki ofa. Mana tui o koe kai koe lau lahi, koe lau lava. Ka uke hatulu tā, koe whonua i pēa i tāputa. Koe ai, i e taiminik mō mea mai pēa i, ke si i toko whaa koe ia. Ne hoko ai whakatamaki, koe nau asia tupe, ko Lute mo Naomi, koe ongo tau te hina, and they're both mothers. Pea koe naongi tamai ki ena. I he hiri pēa ngai mō menitsi i mei heni, te mauto e kau whataha atu, pēa mo e taha o e whangatoko ua, o e kau pekia koe ni, kene o atu ai hange ko lau ai whanongonongo whamui ko ia ki tuunga ko ia o ki ai mea whakaeki tari ke whakahoko mai ki Setoloni. Ka koe na mahak mō mea mai peki ai, ka taka tuko at peo nau ata o he family. E o ate pēne mo e tauhimi i he taimini, Ko ia mahak mo me amai pe ki he hiva I loa ko eni pe ko hingoa o whakawholafola ko lute mo Naomi. Ko tala noa I loa pe whakia I he toi tapu. Nai kai ki nā whē mālahi. Nai pe he Naomi lute whoki atua. Pea nai pe he lewa e lute. Naomi te mui mui atu pe. I he ahoni ko ongo tau te hina eni. Na alfa taha pe na whoki ki apio mālolo ki ai. They went home to be with the Lord. Oku wha otua pia wha wholofola a hingoani. Pia I he ahoni oku ongona ia I he tapakotoa o pia ia Tonga. O ha upe ki he kaumuri a ngona e tala noa I loa koini. Ko I lute mo Naomi. It's a famous story from the Bible. Na e pehe Naomi lute whoki atua ki o api. Nai pehe la e lute Naomi te mui mui pe. E ahoni ko ongo tau te hina koe ni ko lute mo Naomi. Na alfa taha pe. Alu pe a lute o taki pe hono te hina ke na whoki whataha pe. O mālolo ki he api ko teu teu he tau tamai whalangi. Pa mālo tēn ka ki mō tau ko tau pe mō te kau mai me ka manako o whalahia tokoua. Elizabeth Niki. Pe whoki he Palestina whaone lua, Filipe Tuivai, Heleni le moto sete, malo o pito kaumai toko ua, Gladys Hola, malo o pito. Pe whoki kia ki moto ko ta pe kumai lotoni, koe ki o whatonga e tomunga hingoa. Ka ia taimini tau kau whataha heni, pia moi si itaha o e whanga toko ua, mo seo mai pe ke ngai whai ata whaafofa koe ni, ko ki nao toluen. Koe ongo toko ua eni, ko lute ni pia mo Naomi. Ko ia te oange whangamarie kia lupe, ko e taha ia e whangatoko ua o e kaupekia, kia ne hanga tuko mai. Lupe, ko e hana ia ngonga whamui mui koe ni, whi whanonga pe kakai, ko e hae tuunga ko ia kia taimini, pa ko hana hao vahe vahe. Malo au pito lupe.
Malo Fatima. Ko ku hingoa ko lupe ha mua tahawhe. Ko ku koneki mo e ongopekia ko ni. Ko na whae fo ko ku meitanga. Ko ku tamai ko no tu fine lahi taha ia ko whae e ongopekia. Pea ko namesake ia e nau whae. Ko kui ko sione o whakitonga a homana. Pao no mali ko malia pui pui ki he toa a homana. Ko wheto matuka pene whamalo mo e whawheta o mongahi tokoni ko toa pe ko mo si whai me mau ki whamiri. O ku te kei ke mau e mau ngahi whenga, ke si whenga i mai. E whai toko whako ni ki si atolona. Ka he lolotonga mau whenga koe ni. Mau ki kore pe mo ngahi toko ni ko toa pe. Pe ko mo ki lotu mai pe mo mau ki whamiri. Ika ke aha lea wheunga ia e whai atia mo tolo mo ngahi. Toko ni mo ngahi ofa. O mo si whai. Ka e te mau keep you guys updated on anything, on when we are going to have the funeral, when it's going to be held. Toki reach out and let everybody know and keep you guys updated on further notice. Ka ku ke fai penga hi feinga ke si feinga mena tol ki si ato. Ka ko e vaveta ha pe fetu taki atu pe ke mo iloi a te mi te nau si alui fai ki si ato mo time ko e fai e nau me afka hiki. Ka ko time ko ni ko at pene fra malo ki a motol ko to. Ka ki le pe fai malo. Io, ko poso pe mo ne ki o fefine, ko lianisi, ko na o si ata me na ua. Ka ko le pe ke si mo lotu pe mua me hoa lute, o ku si ke tokoto pe he mohenga mamai. O te ke ata mai.
Aia ko mai kolo whekitoa ia,
Mai kolo whekitoa ia.
Ia. Aia ko ki motolu ko ia i he vahinga se ato, mo ilo i pe, mo mea i pe ko mai kolo, ko e whoha ia o tupoutu i nuku awhi vi mahi ko e nei mau hoa whoki ki a weneni, na ne toki malolo atu, pea ko ia, ko e taha ene o isi i whanau, ko ia whanau paia, pa ko e hono hoa eni, ko pekia a lute, pea ko mai kolo kei whe maho molotu kei i he mohenga o e mamahi. Ka koia o ku whamanatu a tai peheni mo e aho tongonaki, te waki ai whakatau atu e pereti me akai, ko e tau mu ape, ko e hape haki seniti te ke lava atu ai hao ki pereti me akai. O kui kai ko e lau lahi, ko e lau lava pe. E hoko ia, ko e whakanonga, ko e whakawhia maarie, hoko ia ko e tokoni, pea hoko ia ko e si whakapulupulu aki ai family e futai mwhangata a koe ni ke lava whakafolau mai ai sino o e kaupeki ai toko wha ke whaka o mai ki Setaloni. Pea ko ia kore atu ho mou lotu mo e hapeha mou ofa ka pau mou iha whetuu a ngai state ke pe ko topre anga. Whamore more ka mou alpe mo a ke he GoFundMe ko e na wastuku atu pei loto. Hapeha ki i mea te ke lava tokoni ai ko e mea maho i ngā koho kau mai. Pea ko ia i ko ki motolu ko e kolo e malata ko re atu ato anaki oua mua te moto e hela mo taimi ke mo whi mea tokoni. Ko ki paanga pe tahanema ke ki pereti atu katoa ia i he mana mo i center e kamata pe honga fulu ko mau tuku atu ai pereti mea tokoni mo lere ai pe ki haane toki osi ka te mau te uia ke tuha mo tau mo ho fie mau. Ko e tokoni mo e ofa o ku i kai ki ahano ngataanga. Pea ko ia whamalo lahi heni, mahalo ku i heni mo e mau kau polo kala maho ko, wa ku mau ofa lahi at malo apita lupe mo mea mai peki ngai ata, pa tukat pe mo hiva ko ia a lute mo Naomi. Ka tau hokat ke polo kala ma ko ia mo kataka nof pe loto o kai ngai whanongonongo for all o amana ki tuku mai ngai tala tu ni kai pure anga o whekau aki ko ia pea mo e anga ngai tu ni kai ke whakataptapui mo e hoko atu ke whawhia maare ai kai o e whanua i he taimini. Hiri pia ngai mini si mehenu tau kau whatama nau tolu ko e hivaini i loa a lute mo Naomi ai ongo whewhineni e na whetauhi aki. Pea koe ngahi a tā pēne umau tuku atu. Malo.
Ika i te ula
tak mea mai pe ia whanau mai pe ke hiwa tuko pe ke ufua mamahi. Ko hiwa whawhalafola whakeni. Pea ku wongo ki he loto e toko tako toa. Ai si I whatamaki koe no hoko. Mo seo mai pe ke he ngahi ata. Ko ki nau tolu eni. Ko ngahi whamiri eni. Na e tō tonu ai whaingata. Pea ko ia. Ko e whamanata te pe. To everyone here in the Seattle area in the King County. For those of you that are going to be on Saturday, please come to Manamo'i Center. The address is 14056 8th Avenue South, Burien, Washington. Pick up a plate for only $15. It is a great and delicious food, but we only give it to you for $15. Whatever any little amount that you want to donate, it's all going to go to help out these families during this difficult time, during this hardship in their life. Whatever we can help, that's all it matters. Ko ia ko leat ke tokoni, mo ka tak whamole pe. Mo mea mai e auto na ki. Whatawa ta mo ki peleti. Ko e tokonia, ko e ofa e tonga, o ki kai ki ano ngata anga. Ko e ofa e otua, o ki kai ki ano ngata anga. Ko e tau whi ofa aki pe ia, ke tau kau whata. Malo au pito, pea ko tau kau whata whakiheni, pea mo e prokalama ko e King County. Io, ki mo ke tau moko atu, o ko atai pe whakiheni mo e whi kau ngā mamahe, ki he whamiri ko ia, o e pekia, na ne toki tō tau a neafi. Ko sis whainga tapa a tautai. Nā ne mauhoa ki a wāke tapa a tautai. Pea ko sis ko o whewhine ia o vili whainga pea mo anau whainga. Pea kwai ene ki whanau e toko tolu. Mau ofalai at ke ki whanau paia pe ke wito pe ke si whae ka maa e whangatoko wa. E full-time whaingata a koini. Mau whenga pe koe haha mea ke lava ke whaia taha piki uma ke tau kau whaitaha koe mea pea oku mahu inga. Mau ofalai atu ofange kaua e ki ia mo tolo o atu hanonga mo whi maarie I taimi whaingata a koini. Koia, welcome right now to the King County, Seattle King County Public Health. We have Sili Kalepo, he's the project manager for the King County. So, whawhi at ki motol kai ngā tonga ko taupe mo I lotoni, pe ko haipe hataha, o ksaipe. Anybody in a different language, you can also understand because they were shared in English. Ko ngahi latest announcement, latest update, me he Seattle King County ke anga tutu uni ko ia ai pule anga. Thank you, Silly, for joining us today. We do know you have some updates from the Seattle King County Public Health. Please, can you go ahead and share that, with our audience and the listeners? Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for having me on again. I'm actually joined by a colleague, Veronica Liu. She is with King County Public Health as well. I will let her introduce herself. We are working on a collaboration together that I will share a screen after she introduces herself and we can go more into it. Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi, thank you for having me in your radio station. I'm honored to be here this evening. My name is Veronica. Like Sui had said, I'm a project manager of the COVID-19. I work specifically in the maternal, childhood, and adolescent program. Recently I reached out to Sealy about collaborating in an event targeting the Pacific Islander community. And we all know that Sealy is such a good leader that he's always open to anything that has to do with his community. And so we collaborated and we came up with having experts in this panelist. And it will be a virtual via Zoom panelist where a doctor, her name is Dr. Malik. He is the chief hospitalist at the Shaggy Valley Hospital. We'll also have a minister, maybe you guys have heard of him. He is a pastor from Auburn City Church. His name is Ofalangi. And of course, he's located in Auburn. And also, I had the opportunity to connect with a mental health expert. Her name is Scarlett. She does solely online therapy for the community. She has a lot of years experience, and you know, I think I'm safe to say this, that in our communities, when I think about people of color, mental health, there's a huge stigma around that topic. And so I wanted to invite someone who is Pacific Islander. So everyone in this panel is Pacific Islander, and I did that purposely so our audience can feel comfortable, ask questions. And in the flyer, it says to, if you're able to send questions via my email, and I can share that with you guys here in just a second. And if you want to send some questions that are anonymously and regarding mental health questions, if we see our children, how they've been struggling with the pandemic, there's been a lot of people struggling during that time. So if parents have questions regarding mental health in their children's or themselves and want to ask these questions, I invite you to do that. So I'm really excited. It's going to be March 31st. It's going to be from 6 to 7. That way we can get our family situated after school and dinner. We hope that we can at least gain that hour of your time. So I'm excited. Again, the topics are going to be COVID-19 vaccine, the Omicron, mental health, and in the community, it's the Bible and vaccines. What does the Bible and vaccines talk about? Not necessarily COVID-19, but a lot of people might question about, is this okay? So I felt like this gives us an opportunity to ask questions and hoping that, we can encourage you. We are here not to force people to get vaccinated, but we are here to be able to inform you the information, and based on the information from these experts, you can make that decision. So I'm hoping that you can share it with your family, with your community, and we're really excited for you to come with us in this event. Sealy?
Yeah, and one of the biggest ones, as Veronica mentioned, is if you have questions you can think of beforehand, we have her email on there. I will share this JPEG, I think it is, or PDF with Netta, and then she can post it on the Facebook live account. Now we know that does run into conjunction with a Voices of South Pacific show, but there's 5 weeks in March, so I didn't know if you guys were having a 5th show. So if you're able to join both, fantastic. We will be recording ours and post it on our King County website after the event is over. And so, yeah, you can pre-send your questions ahead of time, and we will go for there. I will let Auntie Sylvia translate some of that. Yes. It will be a webinar. Yep. And the Zoom address is right there. And as I mentioned, I'll share this with Netta to put on to the Voices of South Pacific Facebook page. Yes. Yep. Dr. Malik Fuyamayono, and then Scarlett Ekra Ramon Ramo. Ew, sorry. That I don't know. That's a good question. Veronica, do you know if Dr. Malik is Samoan?
I don't know if he is someone, but I know he is Pacific Islander, but I don't know from what island.
Fumayono sounds like a Samoan last name, but I mean, could be a lot. Scarlett Ekromona. She is a mental health specialist. It's a Thursday. COVID, the vaccine, Omicron, mental health, the Bible, and and kind of what the Bible says about vaccines, looking at it from a pastor's perspective. Pastor Ofa Langi has an MDiv, so a master's in divinity. Community can come ask their questions. We were very intentional about finding Pacific Islander speakers to talk on this topic. Many times it's been our white colleagues, but we were trying to be very intentional of just getting some Pacific Islander led leaders to unpack some of these community issues.
Koe tau mua ki he kakai o e Pasifiki. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Silly, go ahead.
And I'll let Veronica hang out just in case you get more questions about this, but I'm going to transition into our comms communications update for the day. Let me get into presenters mode. Okay, nope, we are going to start here. All right. So as most folks know, tomorrow is, the mask indoor mandate ends. King County will no longer require masks in many indoor public spaces, schools, childcare facilities, libraries, restaurants, bars, churches, mosques, temples, and other houses of worship, gyms, or other sports type facilities, groceries, and other stores and other businesses. There is a link at kingcounty.gov/masks that has infographics that are available in different languages if folks have questions about that.
Yay, finally. Koe osin e tau e ua e tau whe aho mai pia mo ngahi tutuni koe e tui koe kof malui. E aho koe a pongpongi. So like at 6 o'clock, if I go to the store at 1 o'clock in the morning, no more mask, eh?
Yes, there is a caveat to that, but I will explain as I keep going.
Okay.
But yes, in general, no mask. The indoor mask mate
Ko
is
e
over
aho ko
on,
ia
as of
pongpongi.
tomorrow.
Ko e aho ko e ongongo whawhiawhia ini. Kai ke tau toi pōpula hono tui ko e meas e ka mata ia me aho pongpongi. Whare koloa, whare kai, whepea whetu te ke alukai. Ngai whata anga ka kai. O ku i kai ke toi whai hatu tuuni. Whamalohi ko pau ke tui ho meas ki mua pa ke toki hu ke ngai whare koloa mo ngai whetu whapure anga. Pe ko whepea whetu te ke aluki ai o hange koe ki mua. Ko ni e osia i e aho pongpongi. Ai koe kamata pe au ka ke alu whare koloa. Pe ko alu ke whare kai. Tau ataina kai ke toi whea mau ke alu moi mes. Ai mahalo ki i ngari whapotpotang ke whaoe u mes ave talamukto. Thank you so much, Silly. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody, we got the same information. Tomorrow,
Yep.
March 11, they ended the mask mandate. No more. That's not required anymore for you to wear the mask as if you go indoor. Restaurant, bar, stores, grocery stores, shop, any outlet.
However, masks will still be required in healthcare facilities, including hospitals, clinics, dentists, and pharmacies. Long-term care facilities like nursing home, public transits, taxis, ride shares, and other federal requirements, thinking about airplanes, and then jails and prisons. And the other caveat to that is some businesses, schools, childcare may still require you to wear a mask. So when you ask the question if I go to the store at 1 in the morning, do I have to still wear a mask? You'd have to make sure you check with the business location you entered. So let's say Safeway says you don't have to wear an indoor mask, but the Safeway in your neighborhood says you have to wear one. So I would just be aware of the signs because some businesses can still require it. Some businesses, school districts, childcare facilities may still require it.
Hange koe, thank you, Silly. Hange koe ana e whamatala mai. Ne ongo pe ko o si whakaata aia ke o te ke toi tui a kof maloi. Ka me ai pe ai ngahi wheitu ia tau te whita pe ia ke whare maki. Hango whare kau vai vai. Hange ka pau ke alu ki ha ngahi kliniki. Hange koe toke tā mata, toke tā nifo pe ko alu ki ha o appointmenti. Whakatoke tā whamo i lelei. Ko ngai whetu uia ko ia ko uhinga pe ia ko maloi. E ko whetu whaki au alu kai kakai ko ia unau puke. Whako tua hanau sino. Mā koe me ko ngai whetu pe ia. Ka e taim na tau pe. Ka pake te ke alu ko maha mes. Te ke ala ko siai pe nau puha mes. Nau tolu. O tuku pe ta whaaki. Tari ke ngau e aka ki ni i. O i kai ke aha kof maloi ki o nau mata. Ko iai. Ko e mea whawhewhia. Ka koe toko lahi koe pe setia nia e hiwa noa ko as whakamahino mai. Pe hange koe taxi mo e alu koe wapuna. Ma te koe alu wapuna o ki kai koe wheitu uni pe. O alu koe wapuna e whakapaha state. Pe mei o ko tipen pe me alaini. Pe kei whe mao koa ke tui e mask. Ko inga koe alu whakia whakapaha state. Ke pe a state ko toa pe mo e ne tu uni mo hono lao. Pe koe iai. Pe ka paurewa o ko pehe. E mei ke whe mao pe ia ke tui e ngahi mask. Ka koe kaunti koe na utau iai, o ko osi ia a pongi. Pea koe whakalata le vaia. Neongo pe koe ngai whare maki, koe ngai whetu pau pe ia pehe. Whare maki u alu kai kakai unau whakoutua, unau puke. Pea o whe mao pe ia ke malo i o ke ngai facility, a koe ngai nursing home, whare kau vai. Pea o ke whe mao pe. Moe kliniki ha te alo appointment. Toi ngā, toko kehe ka pau pehe mai ha whare kolo aia. Pau pehe tui ho meas. Ka koe tuu koe taimini, ngai tutoni koe taimini. O ku whakangofua ia pongpongi. Ke lue ki loto. I kai ke tau whea mau ha meas. O a o ke ngai whare kai. Thank you so much, Silly. Go ahead.
Yep. Now, the other thing is why now? So why is King County ending its local indoor mask order? It's because the hospitalization, the cases, those numbers are declining. And because the CDC is, changing their guidance, and there is a high rate of vaccination. So again, as I had mentioned many times, on the radio show. I mean, we follow the science and we try to do kind of according to our Department of Health, Washington, and our own King County doctors. I think it's led by Dr. Jeff Duchent. He's actually doing a press conference tomorrow at 10:30 on the King County Facebook page if folks are interested in joining that. But yeah, it's really they're just following the science, following the numbers, and they feel we're just at a time to begin that what we call our new normal.
Io, a pong ina e whai mai whake whakawhi ki he aia koe hange koe ia o ku iai hatahau kia hane whehui aia koe whakawhi koe ni aia ko a pong o ku rea mai toke tā koe aia. So the doctor is coming in tomorrow. I saw the media invitation for the press release tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was asking that Dr. Jeff, yeah, the health officer, is gonna do a brief to the public and take question tomorrow, March 11. It will be at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and we will definitely share that on Voice of South Pacific, and then also we'll share that on Facebook. So if people have a question, they do have a host, to take your question and relate to the doctor. Okay, so he's the health officer for the Public Health Seattle and King County. Tomorrow at March 11 at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so
I
much.
have the yeah, it's right here. So join us Friday for this media briefing. If folks aren't able to jump on through Voice of the South Pacific, you can just jump on Public Health's Facebook site. It'll be shown live at 10:30 a.m. And again, it's a briefing on the coming changes to the state and local pandemic policies, as well as the latest update on COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and vaccination efforts. And it allows media to ask questions. And I believe Voice of South Pacific is one of those media members who can ask questions. All right, let me move on. What's next? And again, this policy change does not mean that COVID-19 is over or we are at the endemic. It just means that, again, we're continuing to follow the science and the numbers and taking our lead from Dr. Jeff Duchent. But we continue to encourage folks to get vaccinated, get their booster shot when you're eligible. Continue to improve your indoor ventilation, whether you're a member of a church, a school, or at your grocery stores. You can elevate your concerns to the managers there. Test, stay home if you're sick. Wear a mask if you feel like you're in a high risk areas or the folks around you have high comorbidities or just high underlying conditions. Keep your community safe.
Yo, hange pe koe ngahi whamatala koe tukatu, koe tau mua pe whoki ke hoko te pe koe whaka hauwhi ai kakai community, wha hauwhi koe mo wha hauwhi tako tau pe, ki tau whai pe ngai wha mo malu I ki tau tolu, ki he mo ui wha lukfua, mo ui lele to tako tau pe. Thank you.
Yeah, and then this is just a few other toolkits we have on kingcounty.gov/vaccine/youth about just kind of our youth vaccinations. How's that process going? It includes videos, flyers, social media graphics, and just, how to use the resource as we continue to get that, younger population vaccinated. And then, finally, we're working with Care Connection of Washington. So our care coordination with King County's funding ended last month, I believe. But we are still continuing to support community who have tested positive for COVID and are isolating or have been exposed to someone who has tested positive for COVID. And then, this is just some of their contact information that we will share later with the show that they can post on their Facebook page.
Okay, thank you. Kona koe ngai whahino pe na kona tuku atu I he pesi, ke mo toki lava pe o sio le leia toi peki ai. Malo apito ki mo toka na toku huto mui mai. O wha ki kanata ve tutu satini. Ko nuk wha hoko atu e ofa ki a koisis wha. O wha tu anasto sai mone whaiva ilo. Mo ki mo tolu koto pe ki lotoni. Wha malo atu mo share atu pe ko ngā koe ngai whahino hino wha o siene. Ki mo tolu na toku huto mui mai. O ko osi whoki a tui a koe o e meas i he aho koe a pongpongi. Pea o whaatare wa alu ke ngai whare kai, whare koloa, ma ngai whitu keke. Tuko ke he ka pau kai whitu ko iau nau ki whamalohi peke tui e meas ai kofu maloi. Ka koe na koe ngai whahino hino pēna tuku atu i he ata mo la. Malo apito. Yeah, go ahead, Silly.
Yeah, no, that's the end of our updates. I don't know if there was any questions.
Yeah, I have one question here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's came in from Lady Conis. Lady Conis. Sound familiar? Okay, she said, well, I'm trying to translate it at the same time. Okay, my question is what about the vaccine requirement? Does it still require for me to take a vaccine or anyone, before they go into any jobs here in King County or any other jobs anywhere, like any public place, like airport or any jobs? Does it still enforce to do the vaccine? Okay, fa malohi inai ai huhu ke hoko atu o ikai. That's it. That's the question.
Yeah, so the vaccine verification ended, I think
March 1st.
Yeah, so it ended March 1st. So, however, if you're applying for a job, you really have to pay attention to your employers.
Okay.
Just like mask mandates, the vaccine requirement, the business or the workplace can have different rules than what King County, Washington, and then the state say about vaccinations. So the current policy in King County is vaccine verification is no longer a requirement. However, please check with the establishment that you're working with to see if they still require it. For example, if there's a concert at it's not called at Climate Pledge Arena. If there's a concert at Climate Pledge Arena, they could require their customers to have a vaccine verification.
So
but you really just have to check with those places you're going to.
So it's all depend on the event, eh?
Yeah. So it's the policy is over. However, King County is allowing businesses to mandate it if they feel that's the best way to keep their staff and employees safe.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Silly. Hange koe nei tuku atu koe ni e he whawhawhonga koe me he Seattle King County Public Health. Nai pehe, koe aho ulaki koe maasi, nei kaire ki te whee mau ia ke eke ahuhu malui. Ka pau ke alu ka whetu. Hange koe alu ke ngai whare kai. Pako whee pia whetu koe nei whee mau koe ke eke koe te huhupa te toku huki loto. Hango ngai pā. Nai osia e aho ulako maasi. Kai ke he koe vaccine verification whokia. Aia koe eke ia e te huhu. Ko taimini le vai o whate whito pe ia pe o kei whe mau e he kautaha koe o ke alo apply ki ke hua ngāwe ai. Hange ka pako ngāwe ki City, pe ko ngāwe ki Safeway, pe ko ngāwe ki Malawapuna. E whakate whito ia me he kautaha ko ia, pe ko airline ko ia, pe ko whe whitu ko ia. It's all depend from the employer that you're applying for a job at. Aia hange pe o kai ngai siasi o nau whamalohi ka whai whekau. And some churches, they don't enforce the pastors. Some churches, they enforce the church leaders. Aia, oku mei whakate whito ia, me ngahi tūtu uni ai kautaha, pe koha kautaha ngā aue, pe koe whitu koe te ke aluki ai, koe hae nau tūtu uni at koe ka koe, pe oku whee mau ke whamalauhi iai ai huhu pe i kai. Thank you so much, Silly. Thank you for clarification and update. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend, and thank you, Veronica, also for coming in and share all the resources and relevant information to update all information to our King County community, Pacific Islanders. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Okay. O whaatu malo lelei tō whāsoi fua.
Fa.
Na moto ki mea mai ki he o atu koe ngai whakaikiki te mo lava pia whanonga ni ka toi whamanata tai peheni ki a pongpongi. Kai ngā tonga mo whamore more mo ka mo mea mai o whatawa ta mo plate mea kai. Koe ki paanga pe taha nima ka koe tokoni ke ngai whangataa koe ni na e hoko mole ai ki family koe ia ki mo ui koe ia toko wha. Lute Naomi mo yon ki leka e toko ua. Aia koe whatamako na e hoko koe California. Pea aku mau loto ke tuko mau taimi. Ka mau kau whataha i he whahoko hatokoni. Ake whatawa te ngai plete a pongpongi. Ki pānga pe taha nima. O ko ate me mana mo i center. Ai ko toa sila 14056 8th Avenue South, Berrien, Washington. Taha whānoa ni Maono, Halavalu i Berrien, Washington. Pea koe te koe mo ke ta e te tau ki fo i hiwa koe ni, tau fo i fas koe ni. Pea kai ke ngā tai, mau tai ofa tai pen ke si fofonga koe a siswha, na he wha hau whakiheni i he taimi koe ne whea maua e ngahi tokoni koe ki Tonga. Na he hau whako whao ne ngahi talamu, ka koutui, o tikai ke au e uta ki Tonga, ka kua ua tu ho ofa i he waha o pe. Ane hau whao e ne ngahi ofa ke whaka au atu ke ngahi family ki Tonga. Pea na mau kau whataha moia, pea toki mālolo i he ane awhi. Pea ku mau honga ka ki mau tolu e mo uia tō tahani. E loto whia tokoni, koe ofi whine whoki e o vili whainga koe ni mama atu, pe whoki anau whainga. Pea moiongo toko ua, ai ko teista whainga whinau, pa pehe whoki a nesteko whainga tawalii, pea pehe whoki ki a sia mo e ki whanau hono kotoa. Pea nane mauhoa whoki ki a wāke tapa tō tai, pea kai mo ki whanau e tō tolu. Pea e tok whakaiki ki atu e whamiri ai nau ngai popoaki, pea mo e o atu ai ngai whanonongo ko ia ki e tō tōne o mea whakaiki ke wike kahau. Kana i he konga ulakina tau kawhataha e mo lupe i teni tahawhe. Ai ko lupe ko taha pea whangatoko ua o iongo pekia o Maria o lute pea mo Naomi ko na pekia. Nane pe whoki o nau kei whai pe nau ngaue ko ne mau pe ke o mai ho nau sino e whai toko wha me Sacramento ke whahaele i mai ki Setoloni. Pea te nau tukot lewa ai aho pea mo i taimi ko ia e whakaho koe mea whakaiki. Ka koutui i he taimi ni ko tāna ki pe ngahi ofa e lava ke a uatu. Ai a whakaho koe e whatau ki plate mea kai ki panga pe tānima me mana mo i center mo ka take o mea mai. Ma o ata mo plate ko tokoni. Kai mo alwhahanga tonu pe ke GoFundMe he asi pe ho hingoa pe mo ho ofa. E o ate pe tau ki fas koe ni. Ia konga wha o se whai whoki koe o atu pe ki i wahe koe me ki i o ngongo koe ni me e fu whatamaki koe ia ku hoko lahi koe ia i e whanua koe i Ulopa koe Ukrainian i hono ofi koe ia mono mau i mono haveki koe ia Lucia o pe whoke Palestino Amerikani koe anga ne tuto ni o whapotopoto pe ke whaiha ofa ka ki nau tolu ka koe ke loto ke ave kau sotia tamalu i whanua Amerikani koe ngā ke mole ai se nau mo ui. Pea ko ia o whai pe ai ngai whenga ke awe mo ngai tokoni ke whanua mole a pito ai toko lahi o mo ui e kakai I ngahi whakapāpō mo koe ni ko Haveki e Lucia mole ai mo nā mo ui e kakai I Europe ai ko whanua ko Ukrainian. Pea ko iai o ko taawhirewa mo hu mai ko ia kesi ai a koe hange ko pensini pea me Lucia pea ko alwa ke rewa ai mamafa ko ia ai kesi ki o lunga pea o ko whai pe whenga pe whapotpoto I ka toi alwa ki o toi mamafa ange I he taimini ka o ko whai pe ngawe lahi a Amerikani ke nau I konai ai ngahi whekatamaki koe ni o ko hoko pea ko iai e tuku atu ai o ngongo I he aho sapate ko ia o wikini ke update atu ai mo ngahi mea hono koto. Ko ia ko maua o mengi wha o singa koe polo kalama mau wha malo ke toko tako ta pena tau kau whata wha malo atu heni ki he Tongan Palestini ka Filipe tu Iwai te whoki ai wha malo atu kia lupe I teni tahawhe malo apito ai si kau mai mo wahe wahe neonga pe ko ke I he mawhasia holoto I he aptanga mamahi mau ofa lai ka koe mo lotu ho whaki kia te koe pia mo family lolo tonga I whawhainga taa koe ni. Nei pehe whoki e Maria Loresio, ai ko Pisila Maria Loresio, na ne pehe whoki koe ene ongo mātua pia koe nau tamai pia me nuku nuku me kaupalu pia koe nau whae pia me la paha. Pia koe ai o kai ofa lai ka te mo tol hono kotoa e si kupfe kau ake family mau ofa pe mo lotu pe mo whawhi atu hatonga pe kia hao ofa mo fie kau ngā kau whataha I he fuesia ha pe hao ki I tokoni ki panga pe tani ma ke ki plet mea kai hoko ia koe whanonga koe whakaola mo whakaau o e ofa ki he family koe ni e aho tōna ki I mana mo I center taha whānoa ni maono I Halavalu Avenue. 14056 8th Avenue South, Burien, Washington. Please come and get a plate as your donation, as your contribution during this hardship for 4 lives has been killed from the car crash unexpectedly and that's so sad. What else can we say? What else can we do? All it matters, please help during this difficult time. Peko alpe ke ko whanme o tuku atuai hao ki ofu. Ko ia maua o me ki he wha o singa polo kalama, mau wha maloto mō kau whataha mo mau tolu, mau ensini a ko neta tua tāpea lava, whilmatau wha o a kosi via Fatima taimi aho. Malo pito mō mea mai ka mō mea.